YouTube, this is Total War Seraphim. I'm proud to be bringing you game 13 of the FIB, the Faction Inheritance Battle. Today we're going to be taking a look at a game between Horatius, playing as Rome, versus Wolf of Ichkeria, playing as Boii. So let's jump right into it, huh? Alright, well this replay was sent in by Horatius playing as Rome, so let's take a look at his build first. Up front here we've got an Evocati cohort, a second Evocati, armored legionaries, Evocati cohort, armored legionaries. In the second line we have Vigiles, Hastati, Vigile. For skirmishers we've got an auxiliary Syrian archer, another auxiliary Syrian archer. For his contingent of cavalry, he has a Sakai Equite, an Equite, another Equite, a third Equite, Sakai Equite, excuse me. In the back here, he's brought some very interesting war dogs, and a second unit of war dogs here, and a legatus general. So now we're going to take a look at Wolf of Ichkeria's build, playing as Boii. For his infantry line, he has an Oathsworn General, Sword Follower, two Sword Followers, Oathsworn, another Sword Follower, a fourth Sword Follower, a fifth Sword Follower, and an Oathsworn, mixing those up quite a bit. In the front, he has what appears to be 5 levy freemen. In the cavalry contingent, he has 2 heavy horse in the back lines, with 2 more heavy horse on the left flank. So let's get right into it now. I find the use of the war dogs by Horatius to be very interesting. Perhaps they're meant to go after the levy freemen, but I've only ever seen them really useful going after skirmishers or horse archers. But I wonder what would happen if you could get them into the backs of units. They look so cool. So both armies seem to be squaring up here. Again, a great map that Yawning Firefly picked. It seems that the player on this side, Wolf of Ichkeria, does have this building structure here to help guard against his right flank if he so chooses, but it seems like both players are content to, well, no, I guess he is using it a bit. A relatively flat map, so there should be some interesting happenings here. The levy freemen lining up as the meat shield units, perhaps expecting to help blunt the charge, helping the Boii to get their charge in where they can. Horatius seems content to move up very slowly, as Wolf of Ichkeria seems to be very cautious as well, each moving up very, very slowly, incrementally. The auxiliary Syrian archers for Horatius are now within range, but have not yet begun to fire upon any target. I wonder if he thinks that the levy freemen are worth it. It looks like he does begin to open up on the Oathsworn General, while the heavy horse looks to be being moved up quite efficiently as well. The sword followers again coming to main line. The Vigiles looking out here to stop the charge, and they do with the levy freemen as the heavy horse is charged into the Vigiles. Here there's a swap. The levy freemen are pulled away as the sword followers engage with the Hastati, and the sword followers will do quite well there. Here the sword followers and the levy freemen take on the Hastati both at once, and these levy freemen are content to throw their pila at the Vigiles here. The Oathsworn General is now making a quick beeline towards the units, while Wolf of Ichkeria moves the heavy horse at the same speed. Also, this heavy horse He does get his levy freeman in there, and this is going to allow the Oathsworn to get a clean charge in. The other heavy horse is able to charge right into the Evocati cohort, though the charge of the sword followers is going to be a little bit slow. They do get their peel off against this armored legionary and should do well there, but the Equites are attempting to get a counter charge, but a charge into the backs of their own men. This Oathsworn is going to get countercharged by this Evocati as well as this other Evocati, but it's going to get caught by the sword followers and the levy freemen. And all across the line we have great engagements. Sword followers taking on the Evocati. The levy freemen out here content to duke it out with the Vigiles, along with the sword followers, so they should work pretty well. This heavy horse does get into the Evocati, but is quickly followed by the Sakyai Equites. Looks like presence is being popped all across the Roman lines to keep the Romans from breaking. Wolf of Ichkeria has popped shield wall across most of his men, across most of his Oathsworn. His levy freemen and his sword followers have broken through and are chasing down the Equites, and together are pretty disastrous. The war dogs have not been released, and perhaps he's waiting for the right moment to do so. The Syrian archers look like they're still targeting the Oathsworn, while out here the Sakyai Equites are making short work of the levy freemen. Looks like the dogs have been released and are getting into the Equites, though how effective they will be we'll see in late game. The heavy horse looks like it's lining up for rear charge. This Oathsworn and this armored legionary are duking it out here on the left flank. Looks like a great rear charge of a Sakyai Equite is going to be brought into these sword followers, and I think that's just about going to rout them. These Oathsworn are doing fairly well against these Evocati, 45 to 49, slightly losing that engagement, but these sword followers are starting to rout themselves. Out here on the left flank of Wolf of Ichkeria, the heavy horse and the levy freemen have won and are engaging into the middle. The Oathsworn still trying its best to hold up this Evocati cohort and doing fairly well. Levy freemen now are free to engage these Sakyai Equites, which they're going to do with impunity. This levy freeman seems to be left out here. This sword follower starts to rout, but rallies at the last moment with 25 men left. But then again begins to rout. These sword followers and the Oathsworn are able to rout this Evocati cohort on the far left flank. These levy free are going to get into the Sakyai Equite, though it looks like they weren't given an attack order. So the Boii units are converging on the center here. The Legatus is caught right in the middle. The Evocati cohort has 87 men left, as well as this 104 armored legionary against these levy freemen, which are falling quite quickly. The Oathsworn only has 48 men left, and it doesn't seem like Wolf of Ichkeria has too many units around. It looks like Horatius has more or less got this game in hand. He's going to bring another devastating rear charge in here against the levy freemen, which is just going to annihilate them. Out here, the Legatus is brought into the levy freemen in an attempt to give it a quick love tap. The armored legionaries again out here taking care of the levy freemen as well as the heavy horse. The Oathsworn is still engaged with the Evocati cohort, but now is being shot from behind. The Syrian archers are opening up from behind on the Oathsworn, which will not last long to that type of sustained fire. This sword follower has only 86 men left, but the odds are just against it with this Evocati cohort coming in with 103 men. Oh, great shots into the rear here. And again, that's just about to do it. Once the general goes for Wolf of Ichkeria, That's going to be it, I think. Another great rear charge being brought in here against the sword followers. The last Oathsworn, it takes a quick charge, and that's going to end it. So let's take a look at and see how the units did. So for Horatius, we've got 89 kills on the Legatus. That's fairly good. 190 on this Armored Legionary, 127, 150, 197 on this Evocati, 25, 20 for the Hastati. Vigiles acting as the meat shields, no doubt, 0 and 2. Auxiliary Syrians both getting equal numbers of kills. Crucial, I think, in taking out the Oathsworn General of Wolf of Ichkeria. The War Dogs only getting 29 kills and 13. I didn't quite see what they got released on, but they didn't seem to do quite well. The Sakai Equites, 91, 76, respectable. The Equites 3, not terribly good. For Wolf of Ichkeria, we have 107 kills for the Oathsworn, 31 for the Heavy Horse, 23 for the Heavy Horse, 88 for this Heavy Horse. I assume that these lower kills were frontal charges into the Roman units. The Levy Free, 66 kills, 46 kills, 44 kills. Amazing kills for the Levy Free. They must have got some great javelin tosses off. The Sword Followers running the gambit, 43 kills here, 109, 111, 80, 152 kills. The Oathsworn doing respectably with 113 kills, 147 kills. I wanted to thank both players, both Wolf of Ichkeria and Horatius, for joining the FIB, and as always, both of you have brought very entertaining games, and I really appreciate it. This is Total War Seraphim, signing off.